Coming up as requested, the review of UNSANE.
Your life slips away from you, you know? Changing your phone number and your email becomes normal. Taking out a restraining order, normal. Relocating to another city, normal.
But you still see your stalker everywhere?
Rationally, I know this is my imagination, but I'm alone in a strange city and I never feel safe.
All right, so as seen from the trailer, it's about this lady. She's stalked by someone, and then she goes to someone for help, and she's accidentally committed to a mental hospital where apparently her stalker might be working. And that's all I'm going to reveal without ruining anything for you. So when I first saw the trailer, I actually quite liked the look of it. I was thinking that this looks very different. Even the way it was shot looked very different. I think the film didn't look too polished, and I think that's why it's separated from all the other films that are out in the cinema at the moment. I kind of like it when these films aren't so polished. So for the first 10 minutes of the film, I was actually watching it wondering why Steven Soderbergh chose to shoot a film like this. I mean, it's like every angle is like it's from a TV show with hidden cameras. And then I suppose after about 10 minutes, I started thinking, okay, he's probably done that for a reason. Because like hidden camera shows, they're like you're the voyeur. And a voyeur is someone who likes watching someone, which automatically makes you feel like you're the stalker of this person's life in the film. Now, if you did it for that reason, it works. Because if you kind of feel like you're watching some kind of like fly on the wall documentary, and there was like cameras tucked away in all these different places, like the shots are pretty much, I mean, they're a smaller aspect ratio than usual films, and every shot had that kind of like fisheye look to it as well. It just kind of looked like a movie that had just come straight from like the late 90s, the early 2000s, when like DV cameras were introduced. And there's this combined with Steven Soderbergh's shooting style, which gave this film a really, really nice, independent, low budget feel to it. As the film was going on, I was noticing there was hardly any depth of field in the shots. You know, there's like you're looking at like a person on the screen and the background's all in focus as well, and I was thinking that's very unusual. And I started wondering at that point, did they shoot this film on a small little device like that size, like a phone size? And I got home later and I checked it, and they did. They apparently shot this whole film on an iPhone. And like I say, it was the depth of field that gave that away for me. I couldn't work out why. I couldn't work out why they decided to keep everything in focus. Because as you see in most films don't look that flat, and this one looked quite flat. And that's not a bad thing because it fits in with the whole style of the film and the whole narrative of the film as well. So speaking of story and narrative, it is proper creepy, and the film gets creepier as it goes on. What I liked for the first, I suppose, half an hour of the film, when you're wondering why she's in the hospital, you're in the same boat as her. You're wondering like what the hell is going on. It's really confusing, which is ace. I loved it. And like I say, it gets creepier as the film goes on. It gets scary as the film goes on. And and again, going back to his shooting style, I like the way he incorporated things like day for night shooting. He brought in some really old-fashioned like video effects. And I think if you're a filmmaker, if you're going to see this, I think you'll come out of there feeling really refreshed, almost inspired, I suppose. That it's actually okay to go and make a film with a low budget and like small cameras, providing you've got a really good story and good actors. So visually I was really impressed by it. Story-wise, I really liked it. What I also really liked was the end credits lasted about 30 seconds. He has such a small crew. It wasn't like 5 minutes of credits, it was literally 30 seconds of credits. And I think that makes it more admirable because like when you watch it, you think, well, when you're watching it, you actually feel like you have just watched a film with Steven Soderbergh running around with his little phone camera. It feels like that, which isn't a bad thing. It's great because that's produced a mental film, pun intended. It's a mental film and it's refreshing as well. I would definitely say if you've got 2 hours spare and you want to break from all this high budget, polished stuff with 5 minutes of credits at the end, so you want something different from that, go and watch this one. It's great. It is a breath of fresh air. And I think if you're my age or above, you're probably going to like this more. And I'm not telling you how old I am.
I'm not crazy! He's here. Or maybe it's all in my head.